Greetings. Welcome to Griff's log for 11/28/2024. This is how I spent Thanksgiving alone. I played VR with my friend. I had a life coaching call in the morning. I played a lot of Call of Duty. Basically went through a Call of Duty boot camp. I called my family and learned I don't know how to talk to 3-year-olds. Watched a movie and gave some movie recommendations. But I'm going to get into all that and a little bit more about the meaning behind each thing and some thoughts and additional feelings about stuff. But before that, what was the best thing that happened today? And I think that, honestly, the best thing, I think, was being able to spend so much time with my homies on Discord and just hang out and chat with people. And I also think another best thing was two best things. This is kind of cheating here. But I sent a lot of texts out about, hey man, happy Thanksgiving. And, you know, it felt really nice to be able to say that. And it makes me realize, why don't I just say, hey man, happy Friday to all my friends? I think I need to be more proactive about that, because I don't think the day needs to be Thanksgiving for me to reach out to someone and say, hey, I care about you and I want to reach out to you, you know? But not going to beat myself up about that. It was a good thing. Very happy about that. I'd also say I'm really grateful for, let me tell you what I wrote down. I said, waking up safe. Holy shit. By pure RNG, I have a nice apartment. I wake up safe and I'm not in a war zone. And I wake up every morning feeling okay. And I'm so grateful, man. I'd also say I'm really grateful for factor meals, because I had a factor meal yesterday and this morning. And my God, is it easy to just pop in the microwave and eat. You get a relatively healthy thing. It's a little boring, I'm gonna be real. And to be honest, the taste is like, okay. It's not gonna be a home-cooked meal. That is the advertising, but it's not going to be a home-cooked meal. I've had home-cooked meals. My girlfriend creates amazing home-cooked meals. It is amazing. Sponsor me though. That'd be really cool. My girlfriend, I'm also really grateful for her. Holy shit, she's amazing. I think one of the things I'm so appreciative of is she's willing to challenge me on things. And I think she makes me a better person for it. And finally, before we go into the rest of the log, I don't know if you know this guy. His name is James Clear. He wrote the book Atomic Habits. He has a newsletter where he shares some quotes, some thoughts about things. And he shared a quote by Joseph Campbell on loving your fate. He said, Nietzsche, that's how you pronounce it, Nietzsche, was the one who did the job for me. At a certain moment in his life, the idea came to him of what he called love of your fate. By the way, Joseph Campbell, he wrote, a pioneer in the idea of the hero's journey, like the storytelling method, all that stuff. Anyway, the idea came to him of what he called the love of your fate. Whatever your fate is, whatever the hell happens, you say, this is what I need. It may look like a wreck, but go at it as though it were an opportunity, a challenge. If you bring love to that moment, not discouragement, you'll find that the strength is there. Any disaster you can survive is an improvement in your character, your stature, and your life. What a privilege. Then, when looking back at your life, you'll see that the moments which seem to be great failures, followed by wreckage, were the incidents that shaped the life you have now. The crisis throws you back, and when you're required to exhibit strength, it comes. Anyway, I thought that quote was very awesome because, like, dude, holy shit. So much of what I've talked about in the last couple of vlogs has been this idea of honestly kind of challenging fate. Like, uncertainty is this challenge of fate where you're not willing to let it be up to fate. You're saying, I want certainty. But fate is not certainty. I guess you could argue fate is certainty, in that if everything is up to fate, then I suppose everything is up to fate. But it's like you won't know it. Like, you're not going to know. And if you reject that fate, if you say, okay, well, I fucked up. Oh, well, how can I fix it? Rather than, okay, I fucked up. What do I do next? You know, I'm doing, the next thing you do might be reconciling or messing with the results a little bit to make things better. But dude, time doesn't, you can't go back. In a game, you can go back. You can go to a save state, man. Real life does not have save states. So you gotta just take what you've been given, and that's what happens. And I fucked up. I've made mistakes. I've been an asshole. I've had bad values. I've, And I think, honestly, it has. I really relate to the quote because I feel like I've experienced it. Now I've been given a really nice life. I don't think I have much to complain about. But it's a lot to think about. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I like to share a quote every log, so I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the quote. All right, so then how did Thanksgiving alone go? What did that feel like? What did that look like? How did that happen to me? I don't know if you guys do this. A lot of you guys might spend Thanksgiving with your family. That's epic. I used to spend Thanksgiving with my family before my dad died. And then I moved across the country and it became very hard. But I think that a lot of people don't spend Thanksgiving with their family. You might spend it with just your girlfriend or your loved ones nearby. And for those of you that spent your Thanksgiving alone, I love you. And I hope it was a good Thanksgiving. And for me, it was. And I'll explain why. You might also be wondering, how could you have had Thanksgiving alone? You have a girlfriend. She was in Iceland. Actually, a couple of months ago, I was kind of worn out from traveling a little bit too much. I was going to some conventions and just traveling a ton, and I was like, I'm tired, and I didn't want to go anywhere for a while. So I should have gone to Iceland with her, to be honest. I really should have. It's so cool. The pictures she's sharing here are so awesome. I love ice, and I didn't realize there were so many beautiful rivers and colors to see, man. So I should have gone with her. But anyway, I started my day at about 7 a.m. I went to bed super late because I recorded my last log, and then I was finishing up Synecdoche, New York, and running low on sleep. Anyway, woke up at like 7-ish, got on a call with my life coach at 8. And we talked about like everything, life, uncertainty, goals, blah, 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 like all of the things. So awesome to talk to him. I'm incredibly grateful for them to spend time with me. So one day I was on LinkedIn. It's just totally random. I don't go on LinkedIn. It's not like my social media of choice. But I was just on LinkedIn for some reason. And I saw their post about them offering life coaching. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. I went to school with them. They're offering it for free, and they just want to like support people and help them. I was like, whoa, holy shit. That is such a blessing, dude. Are you kidding me? This person is willing to spend time and like help think about things and explore these thoughts and spend time. Holy shit. And I was like, man, I'm so grateful for that. And I would be honored to be able to spend time with them. And I remember when I first messaged them, I was really excited about it. I ghosted them for like a little while. I was just that's just a horrible. You have this person willing to spend time on you, and then you just don't set anything up. Horrible. But anyway, we finally got into it, and we've been doing it weekly for a while now. And it's been really, I'm so thankful, man. They're super cool. So I'm really thankful for that. We did that from like 8 to 9. And one really big takeaway from that is I feel like I need to read the Bhagavad Gita. Because man, what a cool scripture. Like, dude, there's so much to learn from every single culture everywhere, man. It's like, I don't think I have enough time in my life to possibly learn about everything. There's so many beautiful texts, so many thoughts and feelings and emotions and guidance that has been here for thousands of years, man. It's crazy. So I really I think that's an interesting read. I don't know if anyone's read that, that's watching. I'd love to hear some thoughts about it. Cause dude, I'm so excited, man. There's just so much stuff to read. I'm so excited. Oh dude, another really cool thing, was that I ended my night, like the night before Thanksgiving, by reading, Infinite Jest. I showed you the book yesterday, and man, it's a big book. I set up a nightlight above my bed, and I was reading. It was the first time, I realized this was the first time I read for pleasure of my own free will in the last like 10 years. I stopped reading once I got to high school because then you have to read for school, and oh God, now it's like, now reading is no longer fun because you're forced to do it and blah, 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 blah. And so I stopped reading fiction. I realized that every single night as a kid, I would lay on my side and I would read with the book on the bed, so that way I don't have to hold it. And I'd read like that for hours until I fall asleep. And it was amazing. And I had the realization that why do I sleep on my side? What's the reason? I was like, holy shit. Because I trained myself as a kid to sleep on my side so I could read. It felt so natural. I was like, oh my God, I'm returning to my my roots here, man. So anyway, I read like 10 pages, but it was quite nice. I really love how he writes, man. I think that the writing in Infinite Jest is just, God, it's so beautiful. I think he said it. I think one quote that stuck with me so far was like, my heart was thumping like a shoe in a dryer. Or like, I think he said, my heart was thumping like a dryer with a shoe in it. A slight distinction with the wording, but the way he uses like hyphens to create, like, you put 30 hyphens in a row with words in between, and you just create this very, very specific call out to a feeling. I think he's so good at articulating this very specific type of feeling. That's so awesome. And I felt so called out because one of the characters at the beginning, and this is just, it's a habit that I have and it's bad. Sometimes I try to call out someone else's feelings for them, where instead of like, hey, how do you feel about this thing? I'm like, so you feel about this thing like this, right? And that's a bad habit. And he said there was some line right at the beginning that was like, you know, the character description for this guy was like, he's the type of guy where he fills in your opinions for you, so you don't have to say much. And I was like, shit, fuck, I've done that sometimes. And often I'm right. I am. But it's bad because it doesn't matter if you're right. The point is to have a conversation with someone. So, you know, I'm still learning and improving here. I've got a long way to go. But anyway, I love this writing. So the realization I had, and I shared this with my coach, was like, dude, I read a book for the first time in a long time, and I realized that's why I lay on my side. Or maybe it's not. Who knows? I don't know. I'm making up stuff. But it was nice to read again. Then after that meeting, I got pinged for work stuff. I really wanted to play some games, to hang out with some pals, but I got pinged for work stuff, and like a fire started at work, metaphorically, and I had to put it up. But it turns out that it was not mine. But I learned some cool stuff, and I learned how pieces fit together and stuff, and that was nice. So I spent the morning after that learning and putting out a fire at work, and realizing how stuff works, which is nice. After that, I was like, okay, now I'm free. And suddenly my buddy Diego reaches out to me, and he's like, hey man, y'all play like VR together? I was like, dude, I don't have a VR. I've never played VR in my life. Why are you asking me this? I don't, like, what's happening? And before I sent that message, I was like, you know what? I'm so thankful that Diego would even bother asking me. That's fucking awesome. And I was like, hey man, sure. What is this? What are you asking me to do? He's like, I want you to get a VR headset. Like, that's like $600, man. What do you mean? And he's like, hey, this would be really cool. I promise you, it would be really awesome. And, you know, I've always thought about getting a VR headset. I've tried it in college. I've tried it before, and it's really cool. But I haven't ever had one. I have a little bit of disposable income. I was like, fuck it. So Black Friday deals, got the Quest 3. So I'm going to play ping pong with Diego. That's going to be, I'm really excited for that today. So lots of stuff for VR. You know, maybe sideload some games that are not published on the main store that may be of an older demographic. And then I played a Call of Duty with my friends, which is so amazing. This is the first time I played COD, like actually tried playing COD in a long time. I used to play COD a ton as a kid. I started in Modern Warfare 2. My brother had an Xbox 360. I was playing on my Wii and stuff at the time, and GameCube, and I went to this guy's birthday party in like, maybe it was like 5th grade, I think, and we got him a gift, and it was Modern Warfare 2. We bought him Modern Warfare 2. That was like a questionable decision. I don't know if my mom, like, we bought Modern Warfare 2 for him. I don't know. I think that was like not a good birthday gift for a 5th grader. Anyway, got him that. That was actually one of the first times I was like not first times. That was one of the times that I was majorly bullied that birthday party. Not gonna go too much into it. TLDR, my like face was rubbed in some shit on the ground and all that stuff. But later that day, I found solace in Modern Warfare 2. And, well, brief solace, because you hop on the mic and it's a little bit worse than getting shit rubbed in your face. It's like you're kind of willingly choosing it to get called slurs and get made fun of immediately. But that was my first introduction to COD, and then I loved it ever since, because it tickled my brain in a way that games up to that point hadn't. But anyway, I played COD a ton until I got addicted to League of Legends and Super Smash Bros. Melee, and then went off to college and blah, blah, blah. First time playing COD in a while. The first thing we did was play Black Ops 6 Zombies together, which was really cool. I love the new Zombies. Me and my buddy Bill and his girlfriend. I've known him for a very long time. He's an amazing person, so cool. And I've only met him 2 times in person. One was I went to a leadership conference for Blizzard. I was the president of my esports club in college, and I went to a leadership conference from just for the summer, where you go and meet some other college leaders about esports and meet them and stuff. But the way I figured it out was the Blizzard sponsored the flight, so I just found a connecting flight from where I lived to where he lived. And I got to meet him and all the friends like that are in that like area, and it was really cool. They like stopped by the airport and they just picked me up really quick. We went to get food. I think was it Bojangles? I forget where we went to. We just grabbed food, chatted, and then they brought me back to the airport for the next flight. It's really cool. And the second time he just visited me at my hometown. I think it was during the summer or during the winter. I forget. It's during some break, and we hung out, just played games together. It's really fun. And anyway, I love that guy. We hung out. We played Call of Duty Zombies, me, him, and his girlfriend. And I was just asking so many questions, dude. I'm so thankful that they're willing to humor every single. I mean, I must have asked like 200 questions about zombies. Like I was curious about everything. So great. I loved it so much. We just played zombies for a couple hours. And I think in the middle of our second map, we played both of the maps, Liberty Falls and the Terminus, I think. And in the middle of Terminus, my family FaceTimed me. Because you might be wondering, yes, I do indeed have a family. And they FaceTimed me middle of the call. I was in my boxers. I didn't have a shirt on. It was really awkward because I opened the call and like I positioned my phone such that it's on my desk facing up, so you'd only see like my chin. You see my nephew and all that stuff, and I'm thankful because otherwise you get a full frontal view of me just being a gross little nerd in the dark. And so I hopped on that call. We talked about Thanksgiving, all that stuff. A little family drama, and it made me think about I probably should have been there. I probably should have taken a flight out for the weekend or something and been there for a couple days. I'm going for Christmas, so that's good. But in the past couple of years, I haven't been there for Thanksgiving. I think because I live in California and they live on the East Coast, like Massachusetts, it's really hard to visit, but that just means I'm not prioritizing it. And I think I need to keep evaluating my values of like, do I value the money that I'm saving from not taking a $1,000 flight, and like being able to spend time here alone playing COD with my friends, or do I value going home for a little bit and seeing my family? And so I think historically I've obviously chosen staying in wherever I am. But I think I need to think about that a little bit more. Anyway, I talked with them. I got to talk to my 3-year-old nephew. His name is Ollie. He's really cool. And I realized that I don't know how to talk to 3-year-olds. I have no clue, man. I was like, holy shit, what do I ask a 3-year-old? I was like, they apparently they watched Home Alone. And I was like, oh, let me ask him, what's your favorite movie? And he was like, and my mom said, oh, Lion King. Because apparently 3-year-olds talk in this indecipherable language that only the people around them will understand. I didn't know that. So I just had, it didn't help that. I think it was going over this. I was like, what the fuck? How did you know that? And then I asked him, oh, that's really cool. Who's your favorite character in Lion King? And he said, and mine was like, Simba. Wow, yeah, Simba's really cool. And I was like, oh my God, I don't remember anything about Lion King. Who the fuck is Simba? I don't remember anything. I think I've only watched like Lion King like once or twice. I don't remember it. I'll be real. So that was the end of that conversation. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Simba's pretty cool, man. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how to talk to a 3-year-old. I talked about this later with the with Bill and his girlfriend about like what was happening. I was like, dude, like, how do you talk to a 3-year-old? And they're like, why don't you just ask like some questions like, what's your favorite color? And they say blue, and you're like, oh my God, blue's so cool. And then you could be like, what's your favorite toy? I don't know. I realize it is very hard for me. I'll figure that out. I don't have experience talking to 3-year-olds. Maybe that's a good thing as an adult that is not directly involved with like, anyway. We played more COD, and dude, I got into COD for like, dude, it was like an 8-hour boot camp session. After that call with my family, I think I was just going down in Terminus and causing a fuss while I was calling because I was very distracted for good reason. And after that, we like took a little bit of a break. They're on the East Coast, so they were 3 hours ahead. It was kind of dinner time, so they had some dinner, and I studied the meta for Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies and for multiplayer and figured out the layout, which as of this, like the best setups, and the as of today, I think my strat is the XM4 for multiplayer, as well as the KSV, I think, the SMG. Very fun. It was fun playing multiplayer again. It was cool. It was we got into it for like 8 hours. The first little bit was horrible, dude. I didn't know my movement. I didn't know the options for movement. I had to do some rebinding, figure out like, oh my God, why was that guy able to shoot me when I couldn't even react? And you realize, oh my God, there's some stats that you have to specifically add attachments for I think it was like running to shoot speed, like that's a stat. The slide, and then there's all this stuff. It was very fun. I loved it so much. It was so cool to get back into it because I haven't played it seriously for a while. I used to play a lot of competitive Call of Duty on game battles. If anyone's played that, or UMG, I played a lot of game battles in UMG, and it was really fun at the time. And I realized so much about what I love about Call of Duty is that you can get into this fun flow state when you're playing. When you play something like Valorant, Valorant is a very strategic game, a very coordinated game where you have to be very careful and thoughtful about what you're doing. But to be honest, that's just not how my brain works, man. Unfortunately, although I'd like for it to work that way. I excel in like very technical speedrunning, for example, like Mario 64, Pogo Stuck, Jump King, Getting Over It. All these games that require you to kind of get into a flow state and have this like grasp of feeling, where you're not thinking. And I realized that so much of COD is not thinking. You're just running around and shooting. But my God, being able to react to some of these micro movements, these slight differences in how different people move and respond to you, being able to flick between people, that's a different skill than being able to think very thoughtfully about your movement. And I realized, I love the just running around and going crazy type vibe, because even though, yes, it's not much thought, you could argue, yeah, it's not as strategic, man. But there's a lot of joy to be had in this. You just fucking run and gun, man. I don't know why I'm trying to philosophize about running gunning. It's fun, man. And fuck anybody that says you can't just enjoy running around and shooting people and having fun and like not thinking too hard, but just feeling it. You just feel where you're going to go, where people are going to be. You feel the vibes. You pre-fire a little bit. It's awesome. And so we played that for like 8 hours. It was really cool. I did not feel burnt out about it. I wanted to keep going, but it was very late on their end, and they wanted to go to sleep. So they had work in the next morning. So that was very fun. And at that point, now I'm alone again. I was very thankful for the amount of time they spent with me. We basically spent our Thanksgiving together, which was awesome. And Our buddy Jade popped in for a little bit. He chatted with us, and that was great too. And it was nice to be able to spend time with people over Discord and just like have that friendship where, you know, we can say anything. We can be honest with each other. We can just chat and no judgment. We're just hanging out. We're just hanging out playing COD, man. And it was very pleasant for my Thanksgiving. I was very thankful. And to have this life coach call in the beginning of the morning and know that this person was willing to spend time with me on their Thanksgiving and spend time with me. So thankful for it. And for my buddy Diego to reach out to me and be like, hey man, do you want to play VR with me? I'd love to play games with you. I'm so grateful for that someone would be willing to reach out to me and be like, hey, you know, thanks for, I want to play games with you. It'd be fun. And, you know, it was an ulterior motive. This motherfucker, you get a $30 referral when someone makes a new account and, you know, they get their thing, whatever. He gets the $30, I get the $30. Win-win, baby. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Win-win. So, fair enough. But, you know, a little bit of an ulterior motive, that guy. So, anyway, we're done with COD. The end of the day is near. But not for me. You know, it's like 8 p.m. or 8:30-ish. And I'm like, damn. What am I going to do? I've been on a kick for watching movies recently. So I went through some of my movie list recommendations, and I was like, okay, American Beauty. Let's watch this movie. And so far, it is amazing. I'm actually, this is fucking sacrilege. I have like 30 minutes left, and I was like, dude, I'm just going to record this because I'm going to be honest, guys, it's actually 11:29. To break the illusion, it is not 11:28. It's the morning of 11:29 because I was way too tired. I got like 4 hours of sleep and woke up and then committed to playing Call of Duty for 8 hours straight. I needed to go to sleep right at the end of the night. So some of these thoughts have marinated a little bit in my mind. But the movie was really cool. I think it approaches this like the husband is just this complacent guy who would rather hate himself and hate life and hate everything and hate all of his life than say no, than to express his real opinion, than to do what he actually wants to do, because he like understands how that'll make other people feel. He understands like the impact of that. But so much so that it becomes this like psychopathic lie to yourself about, yeah, I understand these people, and so I'm going to lie to myself and act this way. And I think a lot of, maybe that's the point. It's like a lot of like, I think American culture is about lying in order to put up a front, in order to create this perception of yourself, in order to make others think about you in a certain way. And I realize I think that is one of the reasons I struggle with content creation in general is like, you know, for networking or for chatting with people, I don't care about maximizing the number of people I talk to. It's just a waste of time to me. I don't want these shallow relationships with people. I want to understand someone. And unfortunately, I think a lot of content creators are very shallow. I mean, God, I've talked to some, and I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just what's prioritized in the culture is like networking with a ton of people and playing with a ton of different people and not being super close, but like feigning this closeness is a big thing. And I feel like I've been really valuing just talking to like the couple people that I talk to right now. There are like a few people that like I really understand what are they trying to do right now? What are their fears? What are they like thinking about? And helping each other understand, like helping each other towards our goals, helping each other like think about things. And it's really fun. And I feel like that depth is something I really value. And it is something that's talked about in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, is like this idea of rejecting all possible possibilities. So like, I talked about this the other day. It's like by virtue of not having all of the connections and you focus on a couple, you can go deep and you can really understand people. And I think it's really fun. So anyway, say no. Saying no, I think, is really key. This is my fidget device, by the way, right now. It's a cap to my water bottle. Anyway, you should say no. The issue with the wife, she's like super fake, ultimate fake. She is not true to herself at all. And she's discovering that throughout the movie, which is interesting. So you put this person that's ultra fake, never honest, just a total liar, and values these things that this other guy, who he's fake in a different way. He's fake in a pleasing way, in a pleaser type way, in a I'm going to be fake in order to be compatible with you type way. He doesn't give a shit about these things, but he lies and says he does in order to be compatible with her. And she lies about, you know, her true feelings about things. She's honest, or she's like, she just values these different things that he doesn't value. And so that guy, you know, he fucked up. Bad values, man. And this was actually really, really weird because it was talked about in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Like, I think the exact relationship dynamic that's described in American Beauty was exactly described in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Like, it's really bizarre. I wonder if Mark Manson fucking watched American Beauty, man. He must have, right? Let me see. Has he ever talked about American Beauty? Whoa! Wait, holy shit. This is insane. What? Oh, hold on. This is actually crazy. This is so funny, man. Let me swap to my browser. Okay, you can see my OBS. You see this? I looked up Mark Manson. He's the author of Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Dude, what a fucking call out. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding? That's crazy, man. Anyway, yeah, that's great movie so far. I'm not done, so I don't think I have all the pieces to put together yet, but awesome movie. So I ended the night basically with watching that and getting really tired. And Diego asked me, hey man, I might watch a movie. And my first thought was, ooh, this could be kind of fun to watch a movie with Diego. I think that'd be really cool. Then I was like, wait, it's like 11 and I've not slept. I should probably go to sleep. So we didn't watch a movie together. But I did suggest a few movies. I suggested Being John Malkovich, A Serious Man, A Clockwork Orange, Juno, Monkey Man, and Pulp Fiction. These are my I'm going to tell you my descriptions for each movie. Let me know if you disagree. Think there's a better description. But he said, give me a one-sentence pitch for each. These are my pitches. Being John Malkovich. Imagine you found a door to someone else's literal consciousness and started selling tickets to access their eyes and brain, by Charlie Kaufman. It's a Kaufman movie. A Serious Man. Imagine literally all of the things all at once go wrong in your life, and you kind of just have to realistically move on. Extreme realism. Holy shit type realizations about life. Coen Brothers film. A Clockwork Orange. Imagine the literal worst person of all time. He just doesn't get it. Horrible human. Irredeemable. Is it possible to scientifically redeem them? Like with medicine techniques. Is it possible to reform even the worst of humans? Stanley Kubrick. Then Juno, high school romance, lots of confusion, lots of figuring out what the fuck is going on. Bada bing boop bop, add a teen pregnancy to the mix. Michael Cera's awesome, also hilarious movie. Monkey Man, very serious movie. Basically a guy who's hella impoverished, fights for his life, literally and philosophically. Lots of religious undertones, beautiful shots, India. So it's a movie I think that I think it's not very similar to a lot of American movies is what I've felt is like specifically, I don't know. It's really incredible. I love Monkey Man. It's so cool. What a great movie. Pulp Fiction, so many philosophical questions asked, so many beautiful lines of dialogue acted out, incredible acting, even better sparking of thought, Quentin Tarantino. Amazing movies, man. So I also realized, and this is crazy, by going through this process, I'll show you this really quick. I don't know if this is gonna like mess with my my channel here, but let me share with you guys the results here. So, do you hear this?
Please, I need help.
This like banging on the wall, right? So you have this like banging on the wall, and you take that banging on the wall, and then I realized that if you listen to the beginning of Monkey Man, I think starting right here. And I was like, "Whoa, that's really cool." Also, sorry, Diego, for I leaked DMs for a brief moment. That's just my movie recommendations here. But it was so interesting to me is because I realized there's these common themes among trailers that are just like, whoa, yeah, you can use this thumping of like thump, 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 this deep bass of a punch or like slamming of a head against a wall. As this underlying tone that's throughout the trailer. And it was like, dude, holy shit, that was so cool. I found the connection between those two trailers, and that felt really nice to find there. It felt like a little bit of gold. But anyway, ended my night, told Diego the recommendations. I was like, dude, we could probably watch Gladiator. And then I was like, wait, I'd be down to watch Gladiator, despite everything I've said so far. And he was like, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm down. And I was like, wait a second. No, dude, I'm running on fumes of fumes. But like the fumes you'd get from a couple hours before you have to shit, where you know eventually there will be a shit sesh later, but not quite yet. Those types of fumes. So I realized that I needed to go to sleep. Went over to my bed, popped my contacts out, fell asleep. And that's how I spent my Thanksgiving. And, yes, I would say that, is it the traditional turkey Thanksgiving? I had buffalo chicken wings for dinner. For breakfast, I had a ramen with a cup ramen with beef jerky put inside. So that way when the cup ramen is hot enough and you put beef jerky inside, the beef jerky actually becomes really tender and soft. And it's really pleasant to eat with ramen. Then I also had buffalo chicken wings for dinner. And a factor meal for lunch, where the factor meal, I kind of half ate it because it was kind of like, and sometimes the factor meals I'm very thankful for them, sponsor me, etc. But it, sometimes you need buffalo chicken wings. And that's how I spent my day. It wasn't a turkey day. It wasn't spending it with my biological family, but I'd say it was spent with my chosen family. I'd say that I read this tweet by a great Smash player named Snap, and they were saying like, you might not be spending your Thanksgiving with your traditional family, but the people you spent the day with are your chosen family, and that's still beautiful. And I'd consider Diego, I'd consider Bill, my family, Jade, my family, even as Bill's girlfriend, my family. If Bill's my family, his girlfriend's my family, man. And I think that. Like, there's a lot of beauty in that. And I'm so thankful for how I spent my time with my friends and my interests. I got to spend time watching a great movie, playing Call of Duty with my friends, and reigniting this childhood love for the game again. And it's getting to suggest movies, getting to connect over VR and committing to it. Oh my God, I'm going to get that today, and it's going to be crazy. Figuring out a work thing, talking about life, talking about with my life coach, talking about the Bhagavad Gita, talking about uncertainty, all this stuff, figuring it out and coming to these conclusions and learning and appreciating and just having an all around good day. So I'd say my Thanksgiving spent alone was quite nice, and perhaps I'll break the pattern of spending my Thanksgiving alone. But I'm very thankful for how it went. And if you spent Thanksgiving alone, I hope it was good. And if you had a okay Thanksgiving, then I hope your next Thanksgiving will be great. There's always the next one, probably. And I hope that you have a good day. I'll see you in the next vlog. Adios.